In today's video, I'm going to be discussing Medicaid and why coverage is ending for millions upon millions of low-income Americans all across the country, and why millions more will likely be losing coverages over the coming months. I have all the details and exactly what you need to know, as well as a full explanation to what's happening right here in the video. Let's get into it and talk about what's going on. All right, now first off, I just want to clarify, I'm only talking about Medicaid here in this video, not to be mistaken with Medicare. Now, these two programs are very similar, but at the same time, they're also very, very different. And those people that are eligible for Medicare versus Medicaid is also very different. Therefore, I just want to make it very clear, we're only talking about Medicaid. In fact, as of right now, about 65 million people are enrolled in Medicare, and about 72 to 73 million people are enrolled in Medicaid. A lot of people that we're talking about right here. And again, just want to talk about why, according to the statistics, over 20 million people who are all low income have already lost coverages from Medicaid, and according to what they're talking about, millions upon millions more are to come over the coming months here. But why? Well, again, I want to explain exactly what's going on, and if you are a Medicaid beneficiary and you're enrolled in Medicaid, how you can prevent a loss of coverages here. And again, I will share all those details with you in this video. Let's get into it and talk about all the details. However, really fast before we do, can I ask a huge favor of you? If you've not done so yet, or if you happen to be new here, first off, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me. I truly do appreciate it. Will you please make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button right down below the video? It's totally free to do so. Always Spazman, always will be. I'm here for you every single day, watching the headlines, doing all the research, answering questions, advocating on your behalf, doing anything I possibly can to help you out right now. Financially, I get it. A lot of people are really struggling, and loss of coverages for anybody when it comes down to Medicaid or anything like this would be a really, really tough situation for literally everybody, as it's a really tough time out there. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so. Feel free to share this video as well with your friends on social media. There's a share button right down below so they can also understand what is really going on. And again, hopefully this will be helpful to everybody with all this information. All right, thank you again. Truly appreciate your support. Thanks for watching, and let me explain exactly the situation here. All right, so this all started back in March of 2020. Now again, yeah, obviously right now we're in 2024. I totally get that, right? We're many years later. However, let me explain the situation that is going on here and what happened back in April of 2023 as well, and where we currently stand today, right now in 2024, okay? So way back in March, actually, to be fair with you, it was probably January of 2020, something went into place called the Public Health Emergency Declaration. Basically what happened with that is a whole variety of different things went into play, but one of them was, when it comes down to Medicaid, basically new people could enroll in Medicaid, but nobody could be removed from Medicaid, okay? Now, this went on for 3 years. Actually, it was a little over 3 years, from January of 2020 all the way through March of 2023. However, when we rolled over to April of 2023, then things changed in a major way. What happened was that the Public Health Emergency Declaration expired, or they canceled it, right? So over 3 years of time that was in play. However, they canceled it, and as of April 2023, the Public Health Emergency Declaration was no longer in play, protecting people that were enrolled in Medicaid. In other words, now states could start disenrolling or basically purging or unenrolling people from Medicaid, okay? Or officially, as they're calling it, is the big Medicaid unwinding. I guess that's the official name that they're calling it. But basically, it's the removal of the purge of Medicaid and millions of people. Well, during that 3-year period of time, the rolls of Medicaid went from about 71 million people all the way up to 93 million people, and they were projecting that 100 million people were going to be enrolled in Medicaid. Well, we didn't quite hit 100 million, but we got up to 93 million people that were enrolled in Medicaid. So enrollment went up over 20 million people during about a 3-year period of time. So that's a lot of people that were enrolled in Medicaid, right? Now here's the problem. Since April of 2023 until now, this still is continuously happening, okay? So states have been coming in and they've been disenrolling, basically removing, purging, unwinding people from Medicaid, okay? So basically what happens is that states no longer need to keep people legally enrolled in Medicaid. They can start removing people from the rolls, and that's exactly what they've been doing. So this number continues to move higher and higher and higher. In fact, back in April of 2023, there was about 93 million people enrolled in Medicaid. And then as the months went on, we saw 3 million, 5 million, 7 million, 8 million, 9 million, 10 million, 16 million, 20 plus million people disenrolled from Medicaid all across the country. And that's where we're currently standing as of right now, which is over 20 million people have been disenrolled from Medicaid, okay? So that number that we topped out at basically back in March of 2023, so yeah, over a year ago now, we were at 93 million people. But now we're sitting at about 72 to 73 million people still enrolled in Medicaid. However, they still suspect that as of right now, this number is still going to drop by another about 2 to 3 million, possibly more people that are still going to be disenrolled from Medicaid. It could be even more than that, but these are the projections as of right now. So anywhere between about 2 and 3 million more people will likely be losing Medicaid coverages, okay? But why? Well, here's the situation. And again, I will share with you also the statistics behind this and what they're saying as far as many people out there really don't need to be losing Medicaid coverages, but because of procedural procedures, I don't know if that really makes sense, but because of this, people are being disenrolled basically when they don't need to be. So again, I'll give you some details here as exactly what you need to do or what you may want to consider doing. But because the public health emergency declaration is no longer in play, now these people basically can be disenrolled and that's it, right? And again, it's kind of a headache for a lot of people. And unfortunately, a lot of people that are being disenrolled don't really know it until they're basically lost or they've lost coverages. And then they realize, oh, I don't have Medicaid anymore, right? So anyway, bad situation. But anyway, let me explain exactly what's going on here, okay? So according to what is going on here, okay, so states are basically having everybody re-enroll in Medicaid to make sure that everybody that is covered by Medicaid is actually in need of this coverages, right? Because there were people there where they were getting coverage that really didn't need it and they were not necessarily eligible for the program based on their income and a variety of other factors. So the people that are actually getting this paperwork, it could be electronic, it could be physical paperwork that is being mailed out to people who are low income and asking to basically fill out this paper and re-enroll in Medicaid, okay? So here's the problem. Most of the people, in fact, according to the statistics, about 75% of the people, so basically 3/4, 3 out of every 4 people, again, give or take a little bit, but about 3 out of every 4 people that are being disenrolled because of procedural abnormalities. In other words, the paperwork goes out, it's not filled out in its entirety, or it's not returned in its entirety, or it's not returned at all, and therefore the people get disenrolled. So that's what they're saying, is that 3/4 of the people don't even need to be disenrolled because of procedural, abnormalities here, okay? And this at all, what it comes down to is the paperwork, again, maybe not being filled out in its entirety or being returned in its entirety either, okay? So this is the reason why that they've given for all these people being purged. But to be fair, yes, some people that are being removed from Medicaid are not actually eligible for the program in the first place because of, like I said, income or a variety of other reasons. But this is one of the big ones that's out there, okay? So they're even saying that out of these 20 plus million people that have already been, essentially disenrolled from that, about 15 million of them, give or take a little bit, about 15 million of them should still be enrolled in the program, but have lost coverage because of these reasons. That kind of makes sense? So if you have not received any paperwork or any communication from your state quite yet, you probably will be at some point asking you to basically authenticate your eligibility for this program. But if you have not received it, just be on the lookout for this, and you may want to fill that out in its entirety when you have that opportunity so that you don't get, unexpectedly disenrolled from Medicaid. Does that kind of make sense? Anyway, just want to bring this to your attention really quickly. These numbers continue to go up. I continue to see the reports saying, 15 million, 16 million, 18 million, 20 plus million is where we're currently sitting at right now, the people being disenrolled. And they're expecting this to top out somewhere around the 22 to 23 million people that are totally disenrolled from Medicaid. Okay, so anyway, just want to bring this to your attention really quickly. Of course, we don't want anybody to lose coverages, but this is what's happening, unfortunately. And if I can do anything to help give you this information and prevent anybody from losing coverages, obviously I want to do that to help you out in any way that I can. So anyway, I'll leave it at that for now. Of course, I'll continue to keep you posted if I find any other details on this or any more updates on this. A lot of weird things happening right now, and this is just another one that is impacting a lot of low income. So if you have not done so, again, please subscribe down below. Totally free to do so. Share the video with your friends on social media. There's a share button right down below as well. Otherwise, check out any of the other videos here on the channel, including those down below in the description or the top of the comment section that I've hand selected for you. The thousands in the video library, or right now popping up on your screen, you'll see some videos showing up there. So again, make sure to check out one of those right now and make your selection. And I'll see you again in just a second here in the next video. Enjoy your day, take care, and I'll see you again soon.